There are legendary apocryphal stories about creative souls. Songwriters are a good example. Rodgers and Hammerstein decided to produce a new musical about the sharpshooter Annie Oakley. They called it Annie Get Your Gun, and hired the biggest Broadway star of the era, Ethel Merman. They also hired Irving Berlin, who, while he was the most prolific songwriter, I think, in American history, at least until that point, had never done a book musical, written the whole thing. He just wrote some tunes. But here he was asked to write a musical where everything, the songs, the dances, the costumes, the settings, everything drove the story forward. So one day they were in the middle of rehearsals. They were coming to the end of a rehearsal, and they're standing around on the stage, and someone says, we got to have a love song for that first act curtain. And Josh Logan, the director, says, no, we can't, because Frank Butler and Annie are still fighting with each other about everything. They're still competing. So about 20 minutes later, Josh is turning the key to the lock of his apartment in Manhattan, and the phone is ringing, and he runs in, he picks up the phone, and it's Irving. And Irving says, hey, Josh, how about this? I can do anything better than you can. I can do anything better than you. I can hit a partridge with a single cartridge. I can do most anything. And Josh says, holy smokes, that's perfect. That's fantastic. Where did that come from? And Berlin says, well, I wrote it in the cab on the way back to my hotel. Rodgers and Hammerstein themselves wrote the ground-changing musical, Oklahoma, in 3 weeks on Hammerstein's farm. You wonder how they could possibly have done something like that, because that musical in 1943 changed all musicals forever since. Stephen Sondheim is said to have woken up at 2 in the morning in a hotel room and grabbed the pen and pad on the night table next to it and scribbled down, isn't it rich? Are we a pair? You on the ground here at last, me in midair, send in the clowns, and so on. Well, you wonder, how can people do this? Well, first of all, it does speak to their genius. These people are geniuses. They're stunningly brilliant, but it also speaks to the fact that they're involved in their work. They were totally, deeply engrossed in their work and committed to their craft, just like Eliza Doolittle is to Professor Higgins, second nature to their daily lives. Pickle. You want to get something done? Dive into the water. Live in the environment of your chosen activity. Eat, sleep, and breathe it. Understand that if you want to buy that cafe or open that restaurant, you will be married to it for the next 5 years.